Today, we're talking about something that can totally change your life: order. And no, I don't mean perfectly folded shirts or alphabetized spice racks. I mean something way deeper, a power that lets you cut through all the noise of modern life. So, let's just dive right in.
So, does this sound familiar? You've got, like a dozen tabs open right now? Each one is a task you haven't finished. Your desk, well, let's not even talk about your desk. And you've just got that feeling, right? That constant nagging sense that you're always rushing, always a step behind, and always forgetting something important. It's that low-level anxiety, that hum of chaos, and it seems to be everywhere these days.
And what's our first instinct when we feel like that? We just try to muscle through it, right? We think, I just need more willpower, I just need to push harder. But what if? What if the problem isn't you? What if it's not about effort at all, but about friction? We're going to look at a much smarter way to handle things, a system designed to just reduce that friction so doing the right things actually becomes the easy thing to do.
Okay, so here's the game plan. First, we're going to figure out what this chaos problem really is. Then, we'll redefine what we even mean by order. We'll separate it from its evil twin, perfectionism, and then we'll get practical. We'll look at examples for work, relationships, habits. We're even going to do a little 2-minute reset right here, together. And we'll finish up with the blueprint you can actually use.
All right, let's get into it. First up, the chaos problem. We need to name the enemy. And I want to be super clear about this. It's not you. It's not some personal failing. It's the world we live in. It's fundamentally designed to be chaotic and to pull your attention in a million different directions at once. So, first up, we've got something called decision fatigue. Think of your brain like a battery. Every single tiny decision you make, what to wear, what to eat, which email to open first, it drains a little bit of that power. And once that battery is empty, you start making bad decisions, or no decisions at all. That leads to the next problem, reactive living. You're not steering the ship anymore, you're just plugging holes and putting out fires. And the thing that stops us from fixing all this? Oh yeah, that's our old friend, perfectionism.
Yeah, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's that all-or-nothing thinking. Perfectionism whispers in your ear, hey, if you can't do it perfectly, don't even bother. It's a total trap. It's why we try to completely revolutionize our lives overnight, get totally overwhelmed by noon, and then just give up on the whole thing. And then we feel even worse. Look, the goal is not to be flawless. It's just to make progress.
Okay, so if just trying harder is out and perfectionism is the actual enemy, what's left? What's the real answer? Well, it's about seeing order in a completely new light, not as some rigid, boring tidiness, but as a dynamic, creative power of arrangement.
And you know, this is not some brand new idea. Way back in 1930, a writer named Charles Fillmore called order one of our core mental powers for creating harmony in our lives. So what we're going to do is take his timeless wisdom and give it a modern upgrade for the crazy world we live in today.
Okay, pay attention, because this definition right here is the absolute key to everything. I want you to really hear this. Order is a functional arrangement designed to minimize friction and make what you want to do the path of least resistance. Let me say that again. It's functional. Its only purpose is to work, and its goal is just to remove the friction, to make the good choices, the healthy choices, the easy choices. This isn't about making things look pretty, it's about making your life flow. So to really get the difference here, let's use a metaphor. Think about the battle between order and perfectionism. It's basically the gardener versus the machine.
Okay, so on one side you have perfectionism. It acts like a machine. It's super rigid, it's fragile, and it takes a ton of energy and constant control to keep it running. And you know what happens when one little part breaks? The whole thing grinds to a halt. But order is like a wise gardener. A gardener doesn't scream at a seed to grow, right? No, they create the right conditions for growth, the good soil, the right amount of sun and water. Then growth just happens. Order is flexible, it's resilient, and it's sustainable because it works with nature, not against it.
All right, that's enough theory. How does this actually play out in real life? Let's get practical and look at some examples of what this looks like at work, in our relationships, and with our own habits.
So check this out. This is Benjamin Franklin's daily schedule, and it is a masterclass in what we're talking about. Look closely. There's no giant, overwhelming to-do list. Instead, his whole day is broken into these intentional blocks of time. He created no decision windows for himself. So from 8 to 11 in the morning, he never had to waste energy thinking, what should I do now? He already knew. He was working. All that brain power he saved went into the actual work, not deciding about the work.
Now let's talk about relationships. That machine mindset, trying to control people, trying to force an outcome, it's just toxic. It never works. The gardener's approach, order, is totally different. It's about creating a safe structure where good things can happen. So this could be simple things, like a rule where you don't interrupt each other. Or maybe it's a scheduled weekly check-in, or a date night that is absolutely non-negotiable. See, you're not controlling the other person. You're just building a safe, predictable space where trust and real connection have a chance to grow.
And finally, let's talk about habits. This is really the foundation for everything else, isn't it? This is where creating those low-friction systems can literally transform your life, day by day.
Okay, there's this amazing technique from psychology called habit stacking. The idea is simple. Instead of trying to build a new habit out of thin air, which takes a ton of willpower, you just latch it onto a habit you already have. For example, you probably make coffee every morning, right? You don't even think about it. So while the coffee is brewing, you just take 3 deep breaths. That's it. Suddenly, the coffee maker is the trigger, the cue for your new breathing habit. You've just created a perfect little system where the old habit kicks off the new one. You've made the right thing the easy thing to do.
Okay, I've been talking a lot. Let's actually feel what this is like. We're going to do a super simple 2-minute reset. Together. Right now. Look, this isn't going to fix your whole life in 2 minutes. The point is just to create one tiny little pocket of order in your day. Ready?
I really want you to do this with me. Okay, first, wherever you are, just close your eyes for a second. And let's take 5 slow, deep breaths. In and out. That simple little action is already telling your nervous system that everything's okay. All right, now open your eyes. Find just one thing around you that's out of place. A coffee mug, a book, a pen, just one. Pick it up and put it where it actually belongs. That's a little bit of that Franklin wisdom right there. Okay, and last step. Just notice a stressful thought that might be bouncing around in your head. I want you to catch it. Then check it. Ask yourself, is that thought 100% true? And then just gently change it to something a little more balanced. Something like, okay, this is tough, but I can handle it.
Now just pause for a second. Notice how you feel. Do you feel that? It's a little more space in your head, a little less static in your environment. It's subtle, I know, but it's real. That feeling, that little moment of calm and clarity, that is order. That's the power we're talking about.
So, the big question is, how do we hang on to that feeling? Well, it's not about some huge, heroic effort. It's about building those small, simple systems that give you the endurance to keep going.
All right, as we wrap things up, let's just nail down the main ideas. Number 1, and this is the most important, feeling chaotic is a design problem with the world, not a character flaw in you. Got it? Number 2, order's the tool you use to redesign your life so it actually works for you. 3, just forget perfection. Aim for progress. 4, build those tiny repeatable systems like time blocking or habit stacking. And last but not least, remember this. Willpower and brute strength are great for a sprint, but order's what lets you run the marathon without completely burning out. So when we create order in our lives, we're building this amazing solid foundation. We're clearing out all the clutter and the noise. But you know, a foundation is just the start. If you actually want to build something on it, you need energy, you need a spark, you need a driving force. So what is that? What fuels the action?
Well, the very next power Charles Fillmore talks about is ZEAL. He called it the mighty force, the great impulse behind everything, the actual zest of living. I love that. ZEAL is the passion. It's the engine of enthusiasm that you put on top of that solid foundation of order.
So in our next explainer, we're going to dive into ZEAL. How do you harness all that fiery, passionate energy without it completely burning you out? It is the perfect follow-up to the calm, stable foundation we've talked about today. Hey, thanks so much for joining me. Make sure you subscribe because you are not going to want to miss our look at the engine that really drives a well-ordered life.